Yes, it's any answer you get to a multiplication problem.
How can you multiply fractions? Think about this question during the lesson. Tom has 3/4 of a pan of lasagna. His friends ate 2/3 of the lasagna. What fraction of a whole pan did his friends eat? Let's find out. To solve this problem, you need to find 2/3 of 3/4.
Of means to multiply. Of means to multiply. So that's how we get 2/3 times 3/4.
Before solving the problem, do you expect the product to be greater than or less than 1? Why?
Think about it. Your product, when you multiply this, do you expect to get an answer greater than 1 or less than 1? And why? We're trying to figure out, they ate 2/3 of 3/4 of the lasagna. Bella?
You expect it to be bigger than 1 because they're multiplying, so you're making it.
When you multiply, you're right, you do get an answer that is greater than what you started out with, okay? But that doesn't necessarily mean that it's going to be greater than 1. 1 means a whole. 1 means a whole. So, do we think that we're going to get an answer greater than 1? No. Why, Devin?
Because you're not getting a whole, you're multiplying 2 parts of it.
We're multiplying 2 parts of a whole, but how many lasagnas were there? There was 1, and was the whole thing there? Was the whole pan there?
Yes, but somebody ate it.
Listen to how she said it. Mrs. Temple said they're going to.
To solve this problem, you need to find 2/3 of 3/4.
2/3 of 3/4. What is 2/3 of 3/4?
Let me go back to the very
Tom has 3/4 of a pan of lasagna. His friends ate 2/3 of the lasagna. What fraction of a whole pan did his friends eat? Let's find out.
Look, this is what he has. He has 3/4 of a pan. Did he even start out with the whole lasagna? No, they didn't even have the whole lasagna. And then they ate 2/3 of that. So they're not, your answer is not going to be more than 1 whole lasagna because you didn't even have a whole to start out with.
Look at the whole pan is divided into fourths, and here's the 3/4. Now they took that 3/4 and they've divided it into thirds. Let that visual help you out too.
To solve this, before solving the product will be less than 1 because you are finding a part of a part. One way to solve this is to draw a picture to represent 3/4 of the pan of lasagna.
And here we have a picture. You see that this was 1, 2, 3, 4 sections, and now we only have 3 of them left.
What is a good shape to use for the pan of lasagna? And how many equal parts will you divide it into? A good shape for the pan of lasagna is a rectangle with vertical lines dividing it into 4 equal parts. Shade 3 of the 4 parts red to represent the fraction 3/4.
So this is how much they had to start out with.
3 out of the 4 parts are red. Next, draw 2 horizontal lines to show the whole rectangle divided into thirds.
Now they put it into 1, 2, 3 sections, thirds, because it says that they ate 2/3 of the 3/4.
How many total pieces are now in the whole rectangle, and what does each piece represent?
So how many pieces are in the whole rectangle now? Paige?
9.
The whole rectangle, not just the 2/3, right? Not just the shaded part.
In the whole thing. Okay, and so each one represents a 12th. 1/12, yes.
There is a total of 12 pieces in the whole rectangle. so each piece represents 1/12. Now, use yellow to shade 2/3 of the whole rectangle. Why do you use two different colors? You use two different colors to show and keep track of the different fractions.
This here, the red was the fourths, now the yellow is for the thirds.
The area where the two shadings overlap is orange.
Because red and yellow mix.
I don't really see that.
How many of the pieces are shaded orange?
2, 4, 6.
6 of the pieces are shaded orange, which represents how much lasagna Tom's friends ate. What multiplication expression represents the area that contains the orange pieces? The orange area is represented by 2 times 3, since it contains 6 orange pieces. What multiplication expression represents the whole rectangle? The whole rectangle of 12 pieces is represented by 3 times 4.
Okay, and we can see that when we look at the picture. The 2 times 3 equals 6. We see the 2, which is like right here, your width, or length times width here, we see 2 times 3. When we look at the larger rectangle, we see 3 times 4.
So, 2 times 3 out of 3 times 4 parts are shaded orange. Tom's friends ate 6/12 or 1/2 a pan of lasagna. If you draw the picture to show 3/4 times 2/3, will the product be the same or change?
If you draw the picture, will the product be the same or change?
Same.
It will be the same.
The product will be the same because in multiplication it does not matter which factor comes first. The product will still be the same.
And we learned that a long time ago. It does not matter what comes first. 2 times 4 is the same as 4 times 2. Same thing works with fractions. Yes.
In fourth grade, we had these properties, and it was commutative property where you could just switch it and it was still equals.
Very good, Dylan.
Another way to find 2/3 of 3/4 is to multiply 2/3 times 3/4. Multiply the numerators together and the denominators together to find the product. Simplify if possible.
Okay, now, the picture they had there to show you how this works and where this comes from, okay? But when you multiply two fractions together, this is typically what you're going to do, unless they ask you to draw a picture. 2/3 times 3/4, okay? And remember, when we multiply by going straight across. But before I do that, I go ahead and I make this X. And I look to see if I can cross cancel, simplifying, making this simpler by working with smaller numbers. And can we cross cancel anything? Is there anything we can cross cancel? Ethan?
The 2 3's.
The 2 3's. This divided by 3 is a 1. 3 divided by 3 is a 1.
Okay, 2 divided by 4 is 2. Oh,
2 divided by 2 is 1. 4 divided by 2 is 2. Now, we can't simplify any further. We're ready to go ahead and just multiply across. 1 times 1 is 1. 1 times 2 is 2. 1/2. You get the same thing. What happens if I didn't realize that I could simplify by cross canceling here? Is that going to affect anything?
no, it won't, but if you do simplify, and if the problem below simplify, then they should be the same, so then you just have to simplify.
You're right. Here they did not simplify. They just went ahead and multiplied straight across. 2 times 3 is 6. 3 times 4 is 12. Okay? This just saved me a step here. Here now I have to look and see that I can reduce further. By cross canceling, we're putting it in simplest form right away. Okay? But either way is fine. As long as you're getting the correct answer, that's what counts.
How do you know you need to simplify the product?
Both numerator and denominator divisible by 6.
The numerator and denominator share a common factor, 6, so you can simplify 6/12 to 1/2. How does the product compare to each of the factors? Explain. The product is less than each factor because you are finding a part of a part. If the friends ate 1/2 of the lasagna, was 1/2 of the lasagna left? Explain.
Okay. If they ate half the lasagna, was half the lasagna left?
Yes. No. None of us eat it in one
Okay, listen. If they ate half of the lasagna that was there, is there half of the lasagna left?
Yes. Yeah.
Macy?
No, because it didn't start out as a whole lasagna.
Right. You didn't have the whole lasagna to start out with. So no.
No, 1/2 of the lasagna was not left because Tom did not have a whole lasagna to share with his friends. Less than half of the pan of lasagna will be left. Now you know how to multiply two fractions.
All right, guided practice.
I would
Go ahead and open up your notebook. We're going to work some of these together.
I would do anything to eat some food right now. Would you?
Guys, enough talking. Open up your notebooks. Let's go, please. Page 280. Guided practice number 1. 3/4 times 7/8. Can I go right ahead across and multiply across? Absolutely I can. I always prefer to make this X though in the middle and look to see if I can cross cancel anything. Are we able to cross cancel anything in this problem? No. Kennedy? No. 3 and 8, I have no common factors. There's no number that goes into both 3 and 8, goes into them. No common factor there. 4 and 7, no common factor there either. So I'm ready to multiply. Remember, we multiplied by just multiplying straight across. 3 times 7 is 21. 4 times 8 is 32. Is there anything that I can simplify 21 and 32 by? 21, 3 and 7. Do either one of those go into 32?
No.
No.
If you can't cross reduce, do you think you'll be able to reduce or simplify your answer at the end?
No. All right, so 21 32nds, that's your answer, yes, you will.
How does 3 go into 35? It doesn't.
How does 3 go into 35, 7 times?
Yeah,
Gotcha.
but it doesn't. Yeah, it does. Look.
No, 7 goes into 35 5 times.
Oh. I'll have to deal with them when we get there.
Okay. All right, find the product. 15 times 3/4. This I cannot do right now. How come I can't do this, Austin Weniger?
Because that's a whole number.
Right, so what do we have to do?
You have to make it a fraction.
By doing what? How do I change 15 into a fraction but don't change the value of it? Not simplify it. Grant? Yeah, put it over 1. Because remember, we said the fraction bar means divided by. 15 divided by 1 is 15. We just made it into the fraction, but we haven't changed the value. It still means 15. Nothing has changed. And so I'm going to look to see if I can cross cancel anything. 15 and 4. Any common factors there?
No.
No. 3 and 1. Anything besides 1? No, so we're ready to go ahead and multiply